In this video, we're going to learn how to crochet some Endermen from Minecraft. These Endermen are relatively simple, only 2 colors as you can see. Normally in Minecraft, Endermen are black with purplish pink eyes. Because black doesn't show up on camera very well, and I want to show the detail in some of the stitches, we're going to do the tutorial in gray today. All you need is some black yarn, some purple yarn, scissors, and a needle for sewing, and the crochet hook I'm using today is a 5mm crochet hook. To make the head, we're going to start with a magic circle. And then in the magic circle, we're going to do 4 single crochets, pretty loose. And now we're going to tighten. We're not going to crochet this in the round. We're going to join each round and chain up. So to join rounds, we do a slip stitch into the first stitch of the round, and then we do 1 chain, and we pull on the back side of that loop to tighten the chain. And there we go. First row done. 4 single crochets. In the next round, we're going to do what I call a corner series in each of the 4 stitches. So a corner series consists of a single crochet, a half double crochet, and a single crochet, all in the same stitch. So we just did that into 1 stitch. We're going to repeat 3 more times in the other stitches. Single, half double, single. 2 more corner series. One more. And now we're going to do that same round join as we did before. Slip stitch, chain, tighten the back of the chain. For the next round, we're going to start off doing a corner series on each corner, and in between those, we're going to do a single crochet in the remaining 2 stitches. So, corner series, and then 2 single crochets, 1, 2. And now we repeat that 3 more times to complete the round. Okay, we finished that round. We'll join it with a slip stitch and a chain. So in this next round, we're going to do a new type of stitch. So I call this a kind of a special corner series. It's bigger than the others. We do a single crochet, 2 half double crochets, 1, 2, and then another single crochet. So that's 4 stitches in total into the same stitch. And now we're going to do 4 regular single crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to repeat that 3 more times. A special larger corner series, and then 4 regular single crochets. Okay, we'll join, chain up, And there we go, we finished the top part of the head, this part. In the next round we're going to do single crochet back posts around the entire outside of the head. To do a single crochet back post, we're going to do a crochet around this post here. We're going to take our hook, go back to front through this first hole, front to back through the next hole, grab some yarn, pull it through both holes, yarn over, and pull through both loops on our hook at that point. Here is it in action. You go back to front through the first hole, front to back through the next hole, yarn over, pull through both, yarn over, pull through the 2 loops. The next one we do will start in the second of the 2 holes that we went through for this first stitch. So we go front to back, back to front, front to back, pull through, do another. So we're going to do this all the way around the work. So now that we've finished the row, just like all the other rows, join with the slip stitch and we chain up. For the next 3 rounds, we are going to do single crochets all the way around. Each round should have 32 single crochets. Okay, now we've finished those 3 rounds of regular single crochets. The next round we're going to do is going to contain part of the eyes. To start, we are going to do 15 regular single crochets, and we're going to color change to our next color at the 15th stitch. "13, 14, 15, instead of yarning through and finishing off 15 with gray, we're going to be using the color of our eye, which is going to be, in this case, kind of a dark pink color. So we will finish off that stitch by pulling pink through, and I like to tie the pink into place with the gray, so just tie real quick. Okay, so this part can get a little tricky, but it's definitely doable. So for the next 2 stitches, we're going to do the first part of the stitch in gray, and then the top of the stitch in pink. So that was one. We'll do another one. First one we pull gray through. Next one we pull pink through. There we go. 2 stitches like that. And then we're going to do 2 regular crochets just with the gray only. 1, 2, and then we're going to do one where we start with gray, finish off with pink, and then we're going to do 2 more where we start with gray, finish with pink. Second one, start with gray, finish with pink. So now we're going to do 10 more crochets using the gray. 1, 2, 10. There we go. That brings us to the end of the round. Just like normal, slip stitch, chain up. In the next round we're going to be finishing off the eyes. We're going to do 14 single crochets in gray to start this round. 13, 14. We're actually going to finish this one off in gray. So now we're going to do 3 stitches with pink bottoms, gray tops. So you can see we left the pink off here. I don't do anything special. I just pull it back over to where I'm starting from and start crocheting with it. So first part of the stitch in pink, and then the top part of the stitch in gray. So that was 1 of 3. Pink, gray, 2 of 3. Pink, gray, 3 of 3. Then we do 2 regular ones in all gray. 1. Oops, I think I caught a little bit. 2. And now 3 more with partial pink, partial gray. Pink, gray, pink, gray, pink, gray. So we finished using pink. To tie off the pink, I like to do 1 full gray stitch before I tie the pink to the gray. So we already did 1 full gray stitch. We will do a total of 10, so number 2, 10. Slip stitch and chain. And then for the next 2 rows, we're going to do gray single crochets around for a total of 32 per round. Okay, we finished those 2 rounds, and now we're going to start joining the ends together to make the bottom side of the head. So to do that, we're going to start off with 2 single crochet back posts. 1, 2, and now we're going to do 4 single crochet, well, we're going to do 4 back posts that we're going to stitch together. We're going to do a single crochet back post, half double crochet back post, half double crochet back post, single crochet back post, and we'll pull all of those together. So we do a single crochet back post through the first post, half double crochet back post, so we simply just yarn over before we stick our needle through, another half double back post, and then a single crochet back post. And you notice how we didn't yarn over and pull through after each, we just kept them on our hook. Now after the 4, we yarn over and pull through all of them. That's going to make our corner. So now we're going to do 4 single crochet back posts, just regular ones. And now we're going to do the 4 back posts strung together again. Regular, half double, half double, regular, and yarn over and pull through all. 4 regular back posts now. Another corner. 4 regular ones. A corner. And then 2 regular ones to finish off this round. And now we're going to join the round like normal. Chain up. Now we're going to do a single crochet, and then we're going to do a 3-stitch decrease. So yarn through 1 stitch, yarn through another, yarn through a third, pull through all of them. So that's a 3-stitch decrease. And now we will do 2 regular single crochets, and then we're just going to repeat that around. A 3-stitch decrease, 2 regular single crochets. Okay, instead of doing 2 single crochets on the last stretch, we just do 1 because we started off with a single crochet before our corner at the beginning of the round. Okay, and now we join to the first stitch, chain up, and now we're going to stuff the head at this point. We're going to use some polyfill for this, and we're going to use a small amount. We're going to, in each corner of the head, we're going to stuff a little ball of polyfill to help keep that cube shape. Okay, there we go. Stuff the head, and you can see the cube shape is pretty visible now. We only have 1 more round left. We're going to do 4 stitches where we join 3 stitches together. So I like to do the invisible version, where you, instead of going through both stitches, you just go through, or both loops, you just go through the front loop. So pull through 1 loop, pull through another, pull through a third, stitch it together. Repeat that 3 times. Okay, so now we can do a slip stitch, and we're going to pull some yarn through, cut, and now we can sew the hole up, and there we go. We're done with the head. So now we can move on to making the body. It's just a rectangle using the same kind of stitches. We're going to do back posts along the sides, and on the back side we're going to stitch 4 of the back posts together to make these corners. To start the body, we're going to double up some yarn, stick our hook through, and do 4 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 4 doubled up chains. We're going to drop the short tail. Just keep working with the long tail. And we're going to do 2 more chains. 1, 2. And we're going to tighten that second chain. So it should look like this at this point. 4 doubled up chains and basically a loop hanging off. We're going to do 3 single crochets, the first of which is going to be into this last doubled up chain. 1, and then 2, then 3. Oops. 3. There we go. And now we're going to do an increase 4. So we're going to put 4 single crochets into this first doubled loop. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now we're going to do 2 regular single crochets. 1, 2, and then in this loop that we actually did the first stitch of the round in, we're going to do 3 single crochets. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we finished that round, so we're going to join like normal with a slip stitch and a chain. And then for the next round, we're going to start off with 3 regular single crochets. 3. And now we're going to do a corner series in the next stitch, which, if you remember, is single, half double, single, all in the same stitch. We're going to do another corner series. And now we're going to do 4 single crochets. And we're going to do 2 more corner series in a row. And then in the last stitch, a regular single crochet. Then we join to the first stitch of the round, chain up. So now we're going to do the same concept, single crochets on the straight sides, corner series on the corners, until we work up to a bigger rectangle. So for this last round in the front part of the body, we're going to start with 3 single crochets, and then we're going to do the special corner series, the larger one, where we have a single crochet, 2 half double crochets, and then a single crochet. We're going to do the straight side and all single crochets, so that's 4 single crochets. And then a special large corner series. And then 8 single crochets. And then the same thing on this corner, and this straight side. Okay, so we've finished that round, we're going to do single crochet back posts around this whole perimeter. So that's going to be 40 single crochet back posts. Okay, so after that round, we're going to do 2 rounds of single crochets all around. Okay, 40. So now we're going to do a slip stitch, and instead of chaining up, we're actually going to do 3 more slip stitches. 1, 2, 3. And now we'll chain up. So for this round, we're going to do 4 single crochet back posts to start. And now we're going to do 4 back posts together. We're going to do a regular, a half double, another half double, and a regular, and we're going to pull through all of them. So now we'll do 9 single crochet back posts, and now after those 9, we're going to do another 4 back posts stitched together. And now we're going to do 4 back posts. We're going to stitch 4 together. And now we're going to do 8 back posts. And now we're going to stitch 3 posts together, not 4. So we're going to do 1, a half double, and a regular. Stitch that together, and we're going to do a slip stitch into the first stitch, and before we chain up, we're going to do an additional slip stitch, and then we will chain up. So in the next round, we're going to start with 2 single crochets, and then we're going to stitch 3 together. 1, 2, 3. And now we're going to do 6 single crochets and another 3 stitch decrease. We're going to do 2 single crochets and another 3 stitch decrease. And now we're going to do 6 single crochets and a 3 stitch decrease. There's one more stitch left in this round, but we are actually going to skip it and go straight into a slip stitch into the first stitch, and we're going to do 1 more slip stitch, and then we will chain up. This is a good time to stuff the rectangle. So now that we've stuffed, we're going to do a decrease on the corners and 4 single crochets on these long sides. No extra single crochets on the short sides. So this is what the end of that round looks like. To do the last part partial round, we're going to finish off that round with a slip stitch. Instead of chaining, we'll just keep going. We're going to do 3 single crochets, 2, 3, and then we're going to stitch 4 together, so a 4 decrease. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yarn through all of them, and we'll do 3 more single crochets to finish off this partial round. And at this point, we'll just slip stitch and pull some yarn through for sewing. And then we're just going to sew this slit closed. Okay, so now this part's optional, but if you want to prevent your rectangle from kind of fluffing out in this direction, we can sew back and forth across the front a few times. You have to do this very gently, or else it's gonna look, you'll see the dimples from the yarn, so you have to do it very, very gently. So we're just going back and forth, not pulling tight at all. And now it looks pretty good. We will very carefully tie a knot. You don't want to pull very hard because you might tighten what you just did through the body and leave a dimple. So now we will hide this end by sewing it through the body and snipping the end off. There we go. That's the body. We've got the head. All that's left to do are the arms. To make the arms, we're going to start off with the chain. So start with a knot around a loop, and then we are going to chain 30. So now that we've done 30, we're going to do some single crochets back along the chain. We'll skip the last chain in the row, and we'll start our single crochet into the second from the last chain. So that was 1. We're going to do 29 single crochets. 2, 29. To do the next round, we're going to chain, turn, and now we're going to do 29 front post single crochets. So to do a single crochet front post, we're going to go in through this first space, front to back instead of back to front like we're used to, and then back to front, yarn, pull through, and then yarn through those 2 loops. So to do the next front post, same thing, front to back, back to front, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. So we're going to do 29 of those front posts in total. $27, $28. The 28th one is the hardest, but it's necessary. So 28, and then the very last stitch will be a single crochet into the very end loop. So that was 28 posts and 1 regular single crochet to make 29 stitches in total for this round. We'll chain and turn, and then we'll do 28 single crochet back posts and 1 regular stitch. the back post will be around this post right here, not this one hanging off on the end. So we go back through the first space, back to front through the first space, front to back, next space, pull through, and yarn through. So 28 of these back posts in total. And we're going to do in this last loop a regular single crochet. We're going to chain and turn, and for the last row we're going to do 28 slip stitch front posts. So it's very similar to the front posts we did near the beginning of this arm, where we go front to back through the first space, back to front, pull through, but instead of yarning over and pulling through, we're just going to do a slip stitch. So we pull this loop through this loop. So we'll do another one, and another one. So that's 3 slip stitches, and we're going to do 28 of these post slip stitches in total. 28, and then we'll do 1 slip stitch into this last stitch, just a regular slip stitch. So now we're going to pull some yarn through, a lot of yarn, and we're going to cut that and use it to sew the arm together. So this is the row of slip stitches that we just did along the top here. We're going to fold the bottom side over top of that row of slip stitches. So now you can kind of see this shape of the arm coming together. It's kind of looking square now. So we need to kind of press this down and sew it together. There's a special way to sew this. So what we're going to do here is we're going to be stitching the outer loop of the row of slip stitches that we just did with the lower loop of the very first row that we did, this lower loop of that row. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to align the stitches so that we're stitching the correct top loop into the correct outer loop of the bottom. Our yarn is starting here, so we're going to go up, and now we're going to go down. So I've got the lower loop on my needle, and then we're going to go through the outer loop on the bottom. Now we'll go up the outer loop into the lower loop, down, and we're just going to do this all the way across. And now we'll tie the loose end from the beginning with the one we just used for sewing. And there we go. The arm is done. The arm is longer than the leg. The legs are going to be done in the exact same way. It's just that they are going to be 6 stitches shorter. I've already got the rest of them sewn up. 2 arms, 2 legs. So now that we have all the pieces, we're going to sew together the body. And there we go, the Enderman is done. I hope this video was helpful for you. Hopefully you have success. If you give it a try, please mention it in the comments and tell me how it worked out for you. Just like always, the link for this pattern is in the description. You can download it for free from my Ravelry page just by clicking the link. So good luck. Thanks for watching.